No one says, "Get off my lawn," quite like the grizzled geezer with a bone to pick.
Get off my lawn.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 old dudes who will kick your ass. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at movie characters who don't let trivial things like age get in their way. In the same way wine, cheese, or a good pair of leather boots get better over time, these guys are more than capable of holding their own against overconfident whippersnappers looking to stir up trouble. And for those of our viewers averse to blood, guts, and spoilers, heed this warning. We won't be including the likes of Yoda though, as he relies on the Force. Number 10, Sheriff Ray Owens, The Last Stand.
Welcome to Somerton.
The Sheriff of Somerton was hoping the remainder of his career would be uneventful so he could retire in peace. Leave it to a pesky international drug lord to kibosh that dream. A man haunted by disastrous events that occurred while he was with the LAPD, Owens has settled for a life where he manages the parking infringements and minor mischiefs characteristic of a sleepy rural town. However, just because he's a glorified meter maid doesn't mean he's not a badass. He enforces discipline and order, at least in part, through his imposing physique. Sure, he might be a bit weathered, but he can still take down modern baddies with their fancy MMA dance moves. He'll even deliver some perfectly timed one-liners while he's at it.
I'm the sheriff.
Number 9, Han Solo, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Chewie. We're home.
Whether known as the hero of the Republic or a suave, quick-witted smuggler, this galactic swashbuckler has made getting out of tight situations his business. And if words or wiles fail him, his trusty blaster is more than happy to wrap up negotiations. Right, Greedo?
Yes, I bet you have.
Between transporting Rathtars, double-crossing rival gangs, and making landing approaches at light speed, it's clear that even after 30 years, he still hasn't lost his touch.
I like this thing.
He flies by the seat of his pants, relying on luck and improvisation to see him through almost any predicament. Number 8, Jonathan John Wick. John Wick.
My apologies. I was dealing with an uninvited guest.
As any decent professional killer is likely to tell you, always have a backup arsenal, even if you're retired, because you're never really out. A few short days after his wife's death, a former hitman comes out of retirement when gangsters kill his dog and steal his car. This guy single-handedly annihilates the entire Russian mob with style and precision. And on top of that, he's also a superior wheelman, doing donuts around his enemies while blasting them from the driver's side window. He even stops a Hollywood cliché in its tracks, finishing off what the bumper started by shooting through the roof of his car as a thug tumbles over top. Remember, John Wick says, "Don't kill puppies."
Noise complaint.
Noise complaint.
Number 7, Machete Cortez, Machete.
Estoy contigo.
Jefe. This is the boss.
A hard-boiled member of the Mexican Federales is on a quest for revenge after a ruthless drug lord kills his wife. As his name implies, this tough-as-nails bad hombre prefers bringing a knife to a gunfight, lopping off heads and limbs while dodging a barrage of fire. Whether he's using meat thermometers like throwing knives or eviscerating his enemies and using their intestines like tactical rope, he certainly gets points for creativity. And sure, maybe his wife was beheaded in front of him, but nothing says catharsis quite like making out with your enemy's wife and daughter before mounting a Gatling gun to your motorcycle and laying waste to scores of corrupt border patrol guards. Hey, grieving is a highly complicated process.
Where will you go?
Everywhere.
Number 6, Francis Frank Moses, Red. A government conspiracy that goes all the way to the top is targeting anyone who could potentially blow the lid off a 1981 massacre in Guatemala. One of those marked for termination is Frank Moses, a former Black Ops agent who is struggling to adjust to retirement.
Bad move, Grandpa.
Despite being a lonely, hopeless romantic who tears up his pension checks just to speak with a lady at the General Services Administration. Frank's also responsible for toppling regimes as well as eliminating numerous drug lords and terrorists.
I haven't killed anyone in years.
It's sad.
Make no mistake, Moses is far from resigning himself to weekly games of bingo or gin. With a hidden cache full of machine guns, grenade launchers, and more, he is one deadly, resourceful retiree.
Cortez trained you? Yeah, I trained Cortez.
Number 5, Captain John Patrick Mason, The Rock.
Captain John Patrick Mason, General, sir. Of Her Majesty's SAS. Retired, of course.
A disillusioned military general takes over Alcatraz and threatens San Francisco with chemical warfare to avenge soldiers killed in combat who have been disavowed by the United States government. To help neutralize these organized and capable mercenaries, the FBI turns to the only man to escape the infamous island prison, an incarcerated British intelligence agent who has spent the last 30 years brushing up on philosophy and fostering a keen hatred for his captors. In fact, once he's released, he doesn't waste any time throwing the director of the FBI off a building before bulldozing his way around the city in a Humvee. A trained weapons expert, tactician, and escape artist, Mason proves there's no school like the old school.
Welcome to the Rock.
Number 4, Reuben J. Rooster Cogburn, True Grit.
Well, that didn't pan out.
When a young girl's father is murdered by a small-time outlaw, she seeks help to track down the culprit and bring him to justice. But frontier justice is its own special brand, with those responsible for enforcing the law differing very little from those they're out to apprehend.
This ain't no coon-up.
By Rooster's own admission, he's never killed anyone who wasn't asking for it, and his reputation for being cruel to prisoners precedes him wherever he goes.
It'll be the biggest mistake you ever made, you Texas brush popper.
While his morals are somewhat shaky to say the least, he's as loyal as they come where friends are involved, and won't hesitate for a second to throw down, even when outnumbered 4-1. They sure don't make him like they used to. Number 3, Rocky Balboa, Creed.
You see this guy here staring back at you?
Yeah?
That's your toughest opponent. Every time you get into the ring, that's who you're going against.
Everybody's favorite mumbling pugilist returns ringside to train the son of his former rival, Apollo Creed. But even though his boxing days are over, the Italian stallion comes to learn that life has one more fight in store for him.
Should have stopped this fight with your father. I'm stopping this one now.
Don't, okay? Let me finish.
Unlike uber macho Rambo, whose badassery is a noteworthy addition to the action movie genre, Rocky's struggle with his own mortality after being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is the humanizing aspect that earns him a top 3 spot on our list.
What's that do?
Well, it's a form of cancer.
With his wife also having passed away from cancer, the aging fighter prepares himself for the final ring of the bell by refusing treatment. But young Creed convinces him to persevere. One step, one punch, one round at a time.
One step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time. Get it right.
Number 2, Walt Kowalski, Gran Torino.
The hell these spooks up to?
A racist veteran of the Korean War with a bigoted attitude towards Asian immigrants takes matters into his own hands after a young gang member attempts to steal his 1972 Gran Torino. After realizing the same would-be thief and his family are actually victims themselves, the ornery old-timer, equipped with his M1 Garand and nothing-to-lose attitude, stands up to the hooligans terrorizing his neighborhood. He also demonstrates how effective a well-aimed finger gun can be.
Here's the deal. You stay away from Tao, understand? You can tell your friends to stay away from Tao.
Similarly, Clint Eastwood's retired gunslinger William Money of Unforgiven also blurs the lines between hero and heel, but Kowalski's reluctant journey to overcome his prejudices as an act of redemption wins the silver medal here.
Get off my lawn.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Show me your hands. Let me see them. Right now. Right now. Put your hands out there.
Number 1, Bryan Mills, The Taken franchise.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
After training Batman as Ra's al Ghul, Liam Neeson went on to act out every father's worst nightmare when he protected his daughter from the predatory appetite of sex-hungry suitors. As a divorced CIA operative who decided that family was more important than his job, this trained professional unleashes his very specific set of skills upon a syndicate of human traffickers who make the mistake of kidnapping his daughter. He reconnects with former colleagues who help him track down his elusive targets, and later constructs a makeshift electric chair to extract information from one of the suspects. Mills becomes a one-man force, taking down the sex slavers of Europe and proving there's nothing a father won't do for his little girl.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.